For all of last year, I've been addicted to screens in some form or another. Whether it be watching YouTube videos, filming for YouTube, watching movies at home or at the cinema, plus any form of scrolling or messaging. Hi again. I actually hate the fact that I'm always looking at screens, and one of the things that I did with my phone was that I turned off all the notifications for all of the apps and I keep my phone on silent. But it seems like that isn't really enough to stop the urge to open the phone up and have a look at it, or any screens for that matter. I'm pretty sure most people out there can relate to this, so it was time for a dopamine reset. No screens for a week. Dopamine doesn't feel good because we watch something. It's a chemical that gets released in anticipation of something. So when you go to open an app on your phone or switch on the TV for your favourite TV show, you're already getting the dopamine hit, and that's what gets you hooked. The feel-good excitement of what's coming is the dopamine at work. That's why it's so easy to get addicted to, and that's the reason why when you do open something on your phone and you look at it, you already feel the pull to want to open it and look at it again 5 minutes later. That is the chemicals at work, basically. And that is the reason why a good scriptwriter will constantly keep you wondering what's going to happen next. They know that they're feeding everybody's dopamine addiction. Regardless of me actually knowing this, I still couldn't bring myself to have a 1 week detox. It would mean giving up on all my favourite pastimes. I really enjoy watching movies. I like watching YouTube videos. I like making YouTube videos. Well, it was actually recently that I was looking at some of my favourite channels on YouTube when I came across a guy called Ryan Horgan. He'd recently released a video about the benefits of cutting out social media, how mindless scrolling detracts so much from real life experiences, and I found it so inspirational that it kind of lit a fire under my ass, and I finally decided to give screens a break. I vowed to spend the first week of the new year without screens. Thankfully, the first day of the new year was a sunny one. I'd sensibly removed my flat screen fitness tracker, but it felt around 9 AM when I got up. I wasn't planning to work out, but since I wouldn't be doing anything online, I was glad that the sun was shining and it was unusually warm for a walk at the beach. I think the first thing I noticed on that first day was how much I was using my brain more. I felt like I could feel my brain actively searching for new forms of entertainment, ways to keep me captivated that weren't screens but could offer some kind of dopamine alternative. The second thing that I noticed was I felt like I was more engaged in conversation with people. I didn't have a lingering thought in the back of my mind about what I should be doing online or work for YouTube or anything like that. But most of all, the biggest thing that I noticed was how much more present I was on every day, really. With me meditating daily, I feel like I've got one toe dipped in the present most of the time anyway, but taking away screens seem to have taken living in the moment to almost like a deeper level. I was really pleasantly surprised by this because I didn't really think it was going to affect my level of presence that much. Even though it was a subtle feeling, it was kind of nicer than anything that I could do online could offer, because it's much more fulfilling in a way. If you've never meditated a lot, then it's hard to describe that sensation, but hopefully some people out there might get the idea. But what was good about it was that I still had a few days left, and it made me more excited for the remainder of the week. On some of the other mornings when I normally would have been glued to a screen for 2 or 3 hours working and editing my YouTube videos, it was actually replaced with good old-fashioned pen and paper. Even though it felt a little bit old school, I actually liked using hand and ink. I felt like not having screens kind of helped to open up the creative floodgates a little bit in my mind and allowed me to have better ideas and a little bit maybe better script writing, but I don't know, maybe someone can comment on that and let me know. But yeah, for sure, I feel like new ideas were definitely kind of springing forth in my mind more readily. On the days that I didn't see friends, which was obviously quite difficult anyway because I couldn't just message them, I found other ways to keep myself occupied. I was listening to music more. I was using an old ghetto blaster for this, which is probably what people did before smartphones and TV. And also I was reading a lot. I felt like I started to read a lot more than I normally would. I try to read every day anyway, but I was definitely getting some extra hours in reading. On the 5th day, I decided to do a little experiment. I was at my parents' place and I knew that I had family members in the lounge, the living room area, and I knew that they were watching TV, but the way the room is set out, it's like there's chairs that aren't looking at the TV. So I decided to go in there and sit on one of those chairs while everybody else was looking at the screen. And there was a quiz show on, so I was able to kind of listen and just play along with that. But it was really strange watching people when they're looking at a TV screen and you're not. If you ever get a chance, just experiment with this and have a look for yourself. It's bizarre, people's expression and their kind of the look on their faces, it's completely like zombified. They're like in a trance. It's like a hypnotic trance. That's what it looks like, which made me a bit put off ever watching a screen again in a way. But I was actually looking forward to the end of this challenge because I really love movies. It's one of my favorite things to do, and the fact that it was drawn to the end of the week, I was actually really looking forward to finally being able to watch a movie. I mean, this was exacerbated by the fact that I just found one of my top 5 favourite movies in a second-hand shop, but I had to wait until today to watch it. Yeah, I know the challenge isn't officially over until midnight tonight, but what's a few hours? It's not going to make a difference, is it? But yeah, it was a fun challenge. I was impressed at myself actually for managing to get through this. Would I do it again in a hurry? Probably not. I think it would be encouraged for people to try it for a day or two. I don't think you need to do it for a full week. Well, let's face it, the whole world is addicted to screens. And in some ways, living in the 21st century, they are a necessity. But I think if you can limit your exposure to them, even just for a little bit, then it would be beneficial. As always, it's about finding the perfect balance, isn't it, really? But yeah, it was an interesting one. I am going to be back in a week with an interesting video for that. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that. And remember to check out Ryan's channel. I'll leave a link in the description for that. And yeah, hopefully I will see you guys next time. Ciao.